Welcome to the Automation Car Design Competition. Over 450 entries, 11 categories, and Mr. Regular as a guest judge in his very own special category. At the end, there can only be one to claim victory in the category. Oh man, now it is down to this. I have to decide how well the technical design is done for these cars that are about to potentially win Category R. Well, that sounds exciting, so let's see what we can do here. The first car we are taking a look at is by Bleach Drinker. A 350 horsepower that... wow. Yeah, that is a lot, but we have something here which is odd for the 80s, but my god, does it help the traction of this car, and it makes it into a prodigy of technology for this era. This would be the most high-tech thing ever. It's a manual 5-gear. Yeah, that's beautiful. Really fast too. Geared LSD. Wow. Very wide tires. Very, very wide. You wouldn't find that on cars like this, of course, but it does help. It does help its stats, and the stats are amazing. And let's take a look here. We have very high sportiness, even some comfort in there. Super high prestige. This is not really a light sports car. It's more like a wunderkind of technology, and thus more suitable to the... yeah, it's actually scoring really well in Hyper, Super, and Track Premium. That's saying quite a lot. Let's take a quick look. Oh, what? That is... yeah, that's very aggressive. It's well tuned, but very, very aggressive. It's basically the best of everything. The best of everything. Not on the luxury settings, that's for sure. It's a two-seater too. Downforce. That is an oversight. That clearly is an oversight. This wasn't supposed to be trimmed like this, tuned like this, because there are lips on there, which then, there's a wing on there, which affects the downforce, but that's not properly tuned, it looks like. So would actually do better like this, but yeah, let's set it back to where it was. Let's have a quick look at the engine too. I mean, this is a very aggressive turbo, but it spools reasonably early for 80s tech, between 2,000 and 3,000 RPM. Alright, I can see that work. You have lightweight forged components in there. Oof. It's overall a very high aiming car. I think it's kind of missing the mark a little bit in that. The technicalities of it are really good, but in a weird premium way. I think a premium way that the car doesn't really convey. This is kind of the dream car of action hero movies. So, maybe that's what you were going for. But overall, I think it's well done, and it definitely deserves a 4 out of 5 just for the stats alone. This is, if you're going this crazy, this is the way to do it. So yeah, solid, even though it's very much on the high-tech end. Next up is Conan Murder, and this car is a sleeper. 470 horsepower, my god, Conan. What the hell are you doing? This is a little too much. Let's see the markets and stuff. Yeah, it's not working. It's definitely, whatever you tried here, it's not working. Suspension setup, very sporty. It is very sporty for a car that looks like it's trying to be a comfortable car. Yeah, not so much there. Let's see how you set it up. It's a manual, also all-wheel drive. Well, that's the only way you get down that power in any way. 3.9 seconds. Okay. In 97. Okay. Sports tires, decent-ish size, pretty small considering how much power this thing is putting down, but yeah, that's where the all-wheel drive comes in. Super fast too. What is the gearing like? We're geared to... We have a top speed of 292 kilometers an hour. Whew, on sports tires, vented discs. The brakes are set up nicely. But, yeah, this semi-clad... overall, I'm not really convinced, but let's take a look at the engine and its tuning. Yeah, so much power. It's also doing that pretty well. You have a little bit of a range, but better make sure to not drive out your gears, because then you experience something that is called wheel spin on all 4 wheels at the same time, especially in first. So don't rev it, don't rev it. But yeah, it's an impressive engine for a hypercar. It's not suitable for a sleeper, I would think. It's actually heavy-duty forged. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Doesn't rev as high. Doesn't have to rev as high, because it's just... well, 7,800 is still very high. This is a little over the top. And I definitely think you missed the mark on the categories here completely, with all the components you put in there. This is not quite working. It seems like an odd car that doesn't belong anywhere. So I have to give it a 2 out of 5 for this. Next up is Dead Puncher Toy 4, with a proper light sports car looking car, and very nice balance for power, power to weight. 142 horsepower on exactly 1 ton. That is pretty nifty. Also, it is a rear engine car, so that would be interesting for its handling. Let's take a look at the graph. Oh, what? Alright, well that is very oversteer... No, it's very neutral. It is very neutral and thus very, very sporty. It is oversteery during normal driving, but then at the extreme it starts behaving itself, which is fortunate. The stats are looking nice. This is a good scoring car, that's for sure. Let's take a quick look at the markets. It's more like a track car, and well, it's scoring really well in light sport, in the main light sport category, and I think this is what the car is actually aiming for. So well done there. Also, you did do so without sacrificing all comfort. It's somewhat prestigious, not over the top there, that's all good. So it seems to be a good choice of components. Open differential, yeah, good on such a car. Sports compound, reasonable tire sizes, the brakes are set up correctly, I would think. Then we have semi-clad, yeah, this is all nicely chosen. Standard, makes sense. And we have ABS, wow, high tech. But the engine, let's take a look at the engine. Standard, almost standard, no, it's not quite standard, but a standard that makes sense for a light sports car. Light sports cars in the late 80s could have a dual overhead cam 4-valve setup easily, and that in a nice little inline 4 1.7 liter package. That all makes sense. Yeah, it probably could have been tuned a little bit more modest, I would think, because this is very much track instead of light sports, which is a little bit more towards the drivability side, isn't it? Yeah, as you can see here. If you're going for a light sports car, then drivability should be a little higher than sportiness. The opposite is true for track, obviously, which has a very different makeup. So overall, I think this is a very nice build. It is using its features in moderation, all pretty well chosen and nicely set up. Very low ride here. And, oh, okay, ouch. Yeah, this is not good. Rear ride frequency is lower than the front. And it's not properly set up. Front dampening has a different coefficient too. I think with a bit better tuning, this could have been a 5 out of 5. But no, you're aiming too far to the sports side. Your suspension setup is definitely not good. And thus I have to subtract a point there, and that means you get a 4 out of 5. Next up, my name is Jeff, and that is a 2006 utility vehicle. Pickup, alright, so we're looking at something that is not a muscle car. Alright, how are you scoring in the utility segments? Let's have a quick look at the mark. Oh. Utility premium is in there, but man, this is super weak. Where are your stats? Where are your stats? Let's have a quick look through here. And design summary. Is there anything that sticks out? Light truck monocle, that makes sense. Rear wheel drive also makes sense. 6-gear automatic. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. 5 gears would probably be still okay, unless it's your premium line up there. We do have solid axle coil front and rear, which should make it an excellent off-road vehicle. Let's have a quick look if that is actually the case. No, it isn't! It is a terrible off-road vehicle. Well, that's a missed opportunity. Off-road only 16. And that is because of the... What? Okay, we need to check that out. That seems to be... very, very bad. What do we have here? What? Okay. Rear ride frequency 2 Hz. That means it's super stiff. That kind of makes sense for a utility vehicle, but maybe not quite that much. Also, of course, the use of sway bars. This is... What? This is a brick. This is a brick. It doesn't even lean into corners. I think it's just riding on the bump stops. Yeah, probably is. And it's super, super rough. Oh my, no, the sway bars are way too hard. This is not a good ride at all. And the markets are telling you the same thing. And the brakes are set up properly. But, and oversteery? Really? For a car like this? Oh, no, no, no. I don't see that working. And what is this gearing setup? You didn't use the speed limiter appropriately. So I would like gear it higher, if you could. And then the spacing is like a sports car spacing. Okay, this thing is all over the place. And I don't think this is very thought out at all. I see this as a 1 out of 5. Ah, the premium vehicle by Pack 9. Let's have a look. 300 horsepower in 1985. Are you mental? That is very much on the upper end. Does he even get that all that power on the ground? Let's check the graphs. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. The gearing is odd. Doesn't use the speed limiter. Alright, rear wheel drive, it's fine. So wheels are quite wide. Also super neutral in steering at the very extreme, but oversteery everywhere else. That's not really what the premium demographic wants. And let's have a quick look at the markets. This doesn't seem right. Premium just scoring a 66. Yeah, that's weak. That's very weak. It's more a sports car and muscle car than a GT than anything else. I think you missed the mark royally here. That's pretty bad. Set. Oh no, guys, what are you doing? This is not a hypercar. This is not a hypercar. Okay. The suspension stiffness is that of a hypercar. And using standard springs too. Yeah, that doesn't help. Okay, that's a missed opportunity. This setup doesn't look right. Let's have a quick look at the engine. It's cutting off before you rev it out. How long does it last? Oh, okay, 6,000. So you basically cut it there because you're running into bottom end issues. Okay, I can see that. But then why? Tell me why you use a cam profile of fucking 71. It makes no sense, man. It makes absolutely no sense. And settle for like 45, something averaging, so that you have a smoother ride and everything too. It's much better choice for a premium vehicle, if you're going for that. So you still have some scoring going on in these categories. So I can't fault you completely, but there are many problems with this. So let's settle with a 2 out of 5. Ah yes, Title Guy 1. This is looking really nice. 200 horsepower almost in 1985 is a lot of power. Especially out of a 2.2 liter inline 4. Whoa. But single overhead cam 16. So yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Good choice there. And still easy to build. It's not over the top. And a manual 5-gear geared LSD. That is very high tech for... What is this vehicle trying to be? Kind of a mix between a fun car and a sports car? Let's have a quick look at the markets. Light sports car. It is a light sports car and a sports car. Not a good one, but a decent one. Also doubles as a track car, which is dubious at best. Let's have a look at the steering bit. Oh my, this is pretty poorly set up. This is oversteery as all hell. It is over the neutral line, and that is off power. So you're oversteering while not accelerating. That is an achievement. That is quite the achievement. This one will be a bitch to drive. And you have plenty of wheel spin too. So yeah, good luck getting this one around corners safely while you're still a little bit on the throttle. This will be fun. Yeah, fun and probably very expensive. And let's see the rest of the car setup. Yeah, pretty standard. Good brake setup there. And with advanced safety, you need it. You definitely need it with that setup of your steering. Okay, that's all good. Suspension. Oh yeah, quite reasonable. A little too soft in the rear, considering the you want to have about 10% difference between front and rear. And yeah, it has a roll angle of a hypercar. That's not good. Yeah, I'll let that slide. And here we have our little engine that is not so little, producing loads of power. It's two-broed. That's a two-bro. And pretty nice torque curve. Goes and gets its boost between 2,000 and 3,000, as you would expect from 80s turbo tech. And overall, what is its setup? 59 cam profile. That's pretty sporty. It's very sporty. If you're making a turbo engine like this, I would actually go lower, like around 40-ish. That's good enough usually to get plenty of power out there. You are not revving it out. That's probably why you went with higher cam profile, so I can see that. It's running on RON 91, so not super expensive. Not good choice here. That is terrible. Oh my god. Oh, it hurts me. Yeah, you must have missed that we completely changed how the mufflers work, because this is like the worst choice ever. Apart from, yeah, this would be even worse. But yes, this comes close. You don't want to use a reverse flow here. Maybe a straight through and a reverse flow here. But the first muffler, you want to avoid having anything that clogs the system. Okay, but overall, what do I think? I think this is pretty meh. Pretty average. It does hit the correct category here, but... So, a 3 out of 5.
We have a tie for first, so here comes the tiebreaker. We have the Arrow, and we have Missile Inbound, the Kerma designed by Art. Okay, you've heard Rob go over the technical details of both of these cars. So, I need to pick a winner between two very good 80s icons. So, this car is way too oversteery, or a little bit too oversteery for what a real manufacturer would give to Joe Hamfist. It gets too tail happy. If it were correct, it would understeer just a little bit, because that's what this sort of Nissan Pulsar-esque car would do. Now, Mr. Rear Engine. This thing is balls out quick for what it was. 142 horsepower. You gotta remember, well, this one made more. But this one did it with that silly little iron block. This car is so good in every way it's scored, it's almost a little unbelievable that we would get something like this in the 80s. You made something beautiful. It's almost the best scoring car for being a little bit underpowered. It's perfect. But if you're making an 80s car that overpromises and underdelivers in a little bit of annoying way, that's what an 80s sports car is. It has to stick it to you. It has to give you a come on, man. Really? And that's why the Kerma designed by art wins. You made something great, and then you shot yourself in the foot just for funsies. That's why you win, man. Wonderful. Wonderful. You can't have pleasure without that little bit of pain, and that's what you delivered. This thing's great. This would be like an NSX of its day. It's wonderful. But the teal... oh man, you won my heart. Well done. So your prize for winning is an automation hoodie, wear it with pride, and a $50 Steam gift card. So wait for those Steam sales and then just go nuts. Well done, man. I love ya. Take care.